Well, let's go to game number 3 and see how this series can end, or if it will begin. We'll see if Granit Gaming can earn a win. Let's go to Towers of Doom. Method with the choice. Granit Gaming will be having a first pick.
I mean, right now, you know already if you're going to Towers of Doom that Zeratul is either banned out,
Yep.
or that Method is saying like, yep, please take him. We're fine with that. So this is the map where you see a lot of Zeratul. We have seen it on Dragonshire before, just in the last game. And Towers of Doom is usually the map where it comes out the most often for them. So this might also be another Dehaka map. But again, if Method has another draft with a bit of a twist that they want to throw against them, I wouldn't mind.
Wouldn't mind seeing some Junkrat, too, from either of these teams. Junkrat has become a pretty strong hero on this battleground, helping poke out in the older phases, helping out with sapper control, but also for the double soak that you might need later on in stages here, especially with our side laners constantly being banned out. They have become a major focus for a lot of our teams. Grell, Dehaka, Zeratul in this matchup might be banned out as well. So things to consider when we head into this draft, if we'll be able to have that Junkrat maybe come out for either of our teams.
I mean, in terms of bans, I don't think that Granit Gaming is going to rock the boat here. You're going to ban out Abathar, you're going to ban out Medivh, you're just going to play it safe on that front. And then it depends on how exactly is the reaction going to be from Method. What are they going to get rid of? So far, Genji has been a priority. Urel is something that they continuously take away.
Yeah.
And since they're approaching also the third game now from a second pick position, highly likely that the bans are going to be the exact same again, since apparently Method doesn't want to take any chances. They want to make sure that there's no Urel on the other side. Ban that out early and then take it from there.
I'm surprised we haven't gotten too much Maiev, especially with her not being banned out until the 4th spot yesterday, or the last match there. I could see Maiev getting picked up a little bit earlier too. It's been allowing for a lot of really hard engages for our teams, especially on this map. You can really benefit from those forced engages around the altar phases to stop those poke games that's been happening for a lot of our teams.
Might be happening on the map now if you have the setup for it. Follow that up with the damage.
Yeah.
But yeah, so would expect Abathar here. Shocking. No, bans should be the same. Against Method, you want to ban out Abathar, you want to ban out Medivh. That doesn't change. Method has made it very clear that Genji and Urel are two of the picks they don't want to go up against. We could see something mixed up around Urel, but I don't really expect it to, not considering the map and not considering how adamant they were about removing that hero from the equation.
I mean, if you leave Urel up, you got to go straight for that Dehaka. Just get the ability of that global pressure. They actually ban out Dehaka themselves.
Now, again, I asked on the last map already how much of an impact that Dehaka would have had for Granit Gaming. And keep in mind, Dehaka was actually banned on the 3rd position. So we might see another play around the comp that really doesn't want to deal with globals from them. Diablo taken very early now from Granit. That's already shaking up things slightly, since in the previous series we had, or in the previous games, Johanna was taken twice and they let Diablo go over to Bad Benny. Likely that we're going to see a Meridian adjustment from Method if they get the chance, if he isn't banned out on the 3rd pick or they don't pick it here.
Gotta consider Urel or Deckard.
We have
they
it.
actually go straight into Maiev and Meridian here for Method.
So you can still play around Tyrande if you're Method. Granit Gaming could pick the hero up for themselves and try to find that synergy with Diablo. Again, Hanzo, big option. We're talking about Memecraft. It is a hero that he excels at, that he has. It's really a big comfort pick for him. So he showed that already. Phoenix is the usual second for him. So those two is what we're looking for. And there's a Hanzo. Decker Kane, Hanzo together with Diablo. Very solid foundation to build on now from Granit Gaming.
Still surprising to me that Urel not picked up on any of these spots. Typically we would see here in the mix-up, especially for Granit Gaming. I can see them maybe forgiving the Hanzo a little bit, going into a Phoenix instead, getting Diablo, Urel, Deckard Kane would be a great foundation for them. But it seems like they want to stick with the Hanzo. I feel like it's the best chance for them to get a win.
That's the one thing that I could have also seen, that they are, instead of Hanzo just going for Diablo, Deckard, Urel, I mean, it's still one of the most powerful comps that we have. We've been talking about this a lot in the past few weeks. I just feel that they are afraid that then Hanzo gets picked away or banned, and Phoenix banned or picked. So those are the two, and then all of a sudden you might be a bit on... I'm not saying that like Memecraft can't play anything else, but those are definitely the heroes that he feels the most comfortable on. And if you're already with an 0-2 with your back to the wall, you want to be on heroes where you know, okay, you can make those playmaker moves.
3rd and 4th pick about to come in here for Method. Looking for a little bit more wave clear, and of course the side laner for them. We've been seeing a lot of Thrall from Ethereal in the past, but here I could also see him maybe moving into that Blaze if he wants a little bit more protection here. He can follow up the Maiev combo straight into a Jump Potion. They actually take away the Leoric, which we normally have from Dark Monk themselves, and pick up a Kerosene.
So already looking heavily I mean, this is Leoric again has like one of the huge advantages when it comes to clearing 2 waves, and he can do that extremely easily. So if they go for a very strong format through that bot lane, that might be another cool setup for them. And we're still waiting for ADRD's hero.
ADRD should be on Maiev, right?
Okay, the Zeratul doesn't surprise me. The Illidan certainly does.
I mean, at the same time, it's Starkbach.
Yeah, but still, it's Illidan.
It's Illidan into Maiev.
You have your global with that, though. You have your pseudo global, so if you need it, I mean, you can still adjust, but you have the option at least to play that. What's ADRD gonna pick, though?
Typically, I would be saying Phoenix here, but Phoenix would feel a little bit weird. They're gonna go straight into Tychus.
I had no clue what to expect. I could have seen anything, like seriously anything, from a Murky to a Gazlowe to a Phoenix. Like, right now, if you have that draft and there's like ADRD on the last pick, and like, yeah, you don't have range damage yet. I kind of would like that, but then again, it's you, so.
I like the Tychus. Helps with Diablo, helps with Illidan too. Gives you a little bit more movement, and you also have a decent amount of health pool, so you can deal with Zeratul poke.
They're switching it around, so with that particular setup, you're not going to see ADRD on Tychus. I mean, that's, ADRD has played a lot of Maiev, and he's going to be most likely on Maiev. We've seen other players also take over that role depending on how they shifted it up. But the way that the draft was forming, it really looked like they might be throwing something else in there. But in this case, you will see Nick on range. But heavily focused again on the force of engagements through Maiev for them.
This is a composition that requires the utmost coordination. You want to be able to kill off a target or two immediately here, with Karazim maybe being going to seven-sided strike and Tychus trying to burn them down. So if that coordination that we've seen in Game 1 and Game number 2 from Method is on point, I can see them winning with this draft. But if we get the Method in the last couple of weeks, I actually really enjoy what we have for Granit Gaming on Towers of Doom.
Yeah. I mean, again, the Illidan is the X factor. We're going to see how that works out for them. We're starting things off with ADRD on Maiev for Method. 2-0 in the series. Bad Benny on Muradin. Nick on Tychus. The Renegade with the Cigar. Ethereal Angel on Leoric. And Curson on Karazim.
On the right, Memecraft on Hanzo. Nande on Diablo. Wolfjo on Decker Kane. And Darkmok to show off the Illidan. And Raid Boss will be back on Zeratul. Can Granit Gaming secure a win? If not, this will be the end of the year for them.
That Illidan is still saw that and they're like, nani?
At least it's not Tomb of the Spider Queen again, right? Like, we hadn't picked on Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Yeah, absolutely. On Tomb, when they picked it, then it was actually a pretty grief situation. But here you can play with a hunt and try and pick a bit of a global aspect.
Yeah.
Then again, we already have Battered Assault taken. So normally, if you're thinking about the hunt in the sense that you are trying to split push maybe a bit, then oftentimes it's more so about getting that AoE damage out, and then Immolation is really the way to go. So Battered Assault instead is being used for him, so the heavy focus on the sweeping strikes. But yeah, let's see how they're gonna play this. Very aggressive, no matter how you look at it.
Big aggressive play to the top right. He goes straight on top of Illidan, but Wolfjo is there to help him out, and that allowed for Granit Gaming to rotate in and take out Tychus. Granit Gaming find first blood.
They're going to be aggressive with this, and they have to. Also, level 1, again, we've seen it a few times now in the past. Still, Transcendence taken for Karazim, yeah. I mean, normally when we're talking about Karazim, it's still the damage focus that we see from him, but in this case, you're going for the Transcendence. The movement speed alone is already pretty amazing if you can pull that off properly. But yeah, that's one of the aspects here. None actually very aggressive at Diablo, just like zoning the entire time. Not only the kill against Tychus was a bit set up through him, but also then the situation that we just saw, trying to buy the space for them to get that camp.
Well, Transcendence is a great pickup if you're trying to keep your teammates alive. I actually wouldn't have mind seeing the Iron Fist here, especially with Murden going to Stormbolt. Just finding one target and just trying to kill them as quickly as possible. Iron Fist really allows for you to do that. Regardless, we'll see how that pays off for them. ADRD having some trouble here on the bottom, taking some damage. He goes for a tether, but Memecraft punishes them with some solid arrows.
I mean, the follow-up was missed from Benny. He missed the Stormbolt there. ADRD tried to tether him in, and if he lands that, then maybe they get some more damage out. The draft on both sides definitely has a couple of wonky elements. The Illidan on Granit Gaming side, and then when you're looking towards Method, having that Leoric together with the Maiev, with the Muradin, Karazim. Very melee heavy on their part too.
Potions come in, full scatter arrow build here for Illidan. Raid Boss takes some damage, but able to get away. Curson wants to do the same as he dashes out. A lot of brawling between both these teams as Granit Gaming actually trying to force all 5 in the middle, but that allowed for Leorc to push in the top right, and they are slowing down Illidan. Can Bad Bunny find a jump into a Stormbolt? Nah, Darkmok already out of there.
One of the fun things for me is actually that Karazim pick that came in before Zeratul and Illidan were confirmed works out really well for Method. Because he's the... Normally when you have those two, Zeratul and Illidan, jump on a support, most supports are just doomed. They can't get away from that at all. If you're having a Karazim, he has the mobility. Talking mobility, Nick doesn't have that all that much, and he goes down as we see Illidan again making the play here. Darkmok just delivering and showcasing why he likes that hero so much.
Opportune time, too. With 3 altars up, Granit Gaming can make a play to grab 2 of them now. Ethereal on the top left will already grab the altar 4 Method, so at least they'll be on the scoreboard. Granit Gaming thinking about dancing around here and delaying the altar in the top right corner, but with 4 showing and Maiev in the bottom, they should just give this up, and they will.
Now Leoric has Neil Peasants now, so he can easily go for the double soak if they want to. It's not going to be a problem for him. The bigger they are taken to chunk Diablo down from Nick. Also not really a surprise. That's exactly what you would expect in this particular setup.
Now it's about Sapper Control, which will be spawning up pretty soon here. 7 coming online too for both of our teams. And the good thing about Granit Gaming is they have shown that they can jump on a target and destroy it pretty quickly. They've done it now twice in this matchup. And the best part now is that they have Hanzo. So the moment they kill 1, kill 2, it's an immediate boss play. They can jump up there, clear that out instantly. They can take these Sapper camps, no problemo. But Method finally gets on the scoreboard too. They find their own kill on the bottom right with Bad Bunny jumping in and dropping a Stormbolt, and Karazim delivering the final punch.
Yeah, once you have that Stormbolt connected, then you can make the play. You can, misses it against Memecraft here. Benny against the jump and immediately the spray coming out. That's not the only thing. Nanda is starting to flank in from the side. Nick still, whoa, Nanda going in deep for this one, and he gets blown to pieces here. Diablo goes down as the bigger they are, gets full value on the side of Method. Fight not quite over just yet as Benny is being attacked by Darkmok, but Illidan needs to be very careful how deep he wants to go with this.
Method needs to think about getting out too, because Zeratul's on the way here. Leo's double soaking during all this, by the way. So Method able to take the Sappers, get a kill, and push out 2 waves off of 1 rotation from Illidan. Darkmok's able to leave, but it feels like Granit Gaming maybe you should consider just straight up giving that away.
Yeah, I mean, Nanda basically suicided there. Maybe he was thinking, maybe there was a coordination problem where they were thinking that everyone would move in at the same time, or they were thinking some of the players were closer. But the second he dives in against 3, might be a vision issue too, into a Tychus, that was him asking for trouble.
Yeah.
And yeah, he got quite a bit of that. Once the bigger they are is activated there, he got chunked down so quickly, they confirmed that kill. And with that happening, it's now getting a little bit tricky since they're falling behind in experience again.
Scatter Arrow quest done here for Hanzo, just finished up. Altar being grabbed. Delay is very capable here for Granit Gaming. Tether into a focused target. Nande will once again be the one that wants to be cleaned up. Karazim trying to deliver the punches, but here comes Raid Boss with the cleave.
And Benny missing the Stormbolt again. Nande actually walking away from this.
Wow.
For Benny, a bit unfortunate. Was trying to lock down the escape path of Diablo, but Nande shifted the momentum and moved into the opposite direction. And through that, able to get out. If that Stormbolt connects, Diablo is down.
One thing I do enjoy about Method's composition, hang on here, as another target is going to be focused down. Memecraft gets cleaned up. ADRD able to find that tether. Nande does finish off his souls, so he gets nice and stacked up and has to peel away. The thing I do enjoy about Method's composition is how flexible it can be. If they stack up, Maiev suddenly starts to rack up more damage, getting those resets in. But if they don't stack up, Tychus just clears up individual targets, and Karazim is just enough between those 2 heroes to be able to finish up certain targets. So Method really making this work with their draft.
They definitely do, and they have good coordination when it comes to isolating one target and going for it. Haymaker by Benny again, and Raid Boss goes down. We've seen Haymaker in the past already by Benny, just played it last weekend, and now we're seeing the same thing again, and all of a sudden Zeratul is like, yeah, I'm not going to get away from this one, am I?
Haymaker, man, it is strong once you hit level 10, especially if you can hit it before your opponents. You can find that isolation, pick off a target. You do have to be worried about late game. If you're able to ever get locked down by your opponents, typically the damage numbers from most assassins will clean you up. But luckily, you have Stone Form at 16 if you need to pull that out. But Bad Benny, twice in a row now, showing that off.
Yeah, definitely trying to play through their talent. And they're in exactly the same spot when it comes to points on the core, 32 for both teams. It's really that advantage in experience that currently gives Method their lead, and they are very aggressive with the kill attempts that they have. They always look for them, they always play aggressive here right now. They go up against the composition that also wants to fight. I mean, Granit Gaming is looking at a Zeratul and Illidan. So you're going to get your fights, and then it comes down to coordination in the team fight and how you play that.
I mean, that experience lead is simply coming from Leoric. Sure, we've gotten a couple of kills in for Method, but Leo has a total of 9K experience soaked to the 6K of Illidan. Illidan is not keeping up as he keeps trying to come in for the fight. So speaking of that, here's the hunt. We go straight in for a full engage on Bad Benny, and he gets taken out as Granit Gaming finds a fight right before the altars will spawn.
Well, it came to the downside of not having Avatar. Pretty good showcase. I mean, you can create kill opportunities, there's no doubt about that. Especially, I mean, let's not forget here, we have an Avatar into potential 7-sided depending on who you hit. If you have someone with less escape potential, then that's definitely a combo that is possible for you to set up. But of course, you are a lot more squishy, and that's exactly what Granit Gaming showcased right now. They find Benny, jump immediately on him, take him down, and now on the back of that, they got another altar secured.
Granit Gaming up 32 to 28 in shots. Method building towards that level 13, about a half a level away, thinking about moving towards their sappers, while Granit Gaming has their Illidan in the middle lane, working on grabbing that experience back. They got into a point where they've decided, okay, we're having a hard time really controlling this Leoric. They have Zeratul now on side lane duty, while Illidan is staying near that 4-man.
Benny is anchoring the play. And he needs to be careful. There's another bush trap already, and this time they're going for Leoric. Moves away, double entomb, and here comes the APOC as the follow-up from Granit Gaming to deny any kill opportunity. Even the Void Prison out, and Granit Gaming walks away from the attack. Actually, well done here. Diablo immediately popping the APOC as he sees the entomb come out and 2 being trapped. It was great play by him, making it very difficult for Method to walk in and take those targets down. So really nice follow-up here. And Method, not using a lot of heroic abilities here, is now still in a spot where they got the better end of the trade, even though they didn't get a kill.
Yeah, major win there for Method, because now that wombo combo from Granit Gaming, the VP into an APOC, is not available. Even the VP was used there. Hunt comes in, but Bad Benny's already out of the fight. Nick takes a little bit of damage here. The Battered Assault lets him go in, but the big haymaker from Bad Benny to make sure that Illidan can't get much more will allow for Method to back up, while Leo continues the trend of soaking out lanes and pushing in the top while working on sappers.
Another big win for Method. You use a 40-second cooldown that you're going to be you have back any second. And in the meantime, the 5 versus 4 does not cause you to lose anyone. And Leoric is at the top lane, pushes another wave out. That's a wave lost. Granit Gaming committed to the hunt. That meant they lost experience on those side lanes.
13 about to hit for Granit Gaming, which will be helpful as they go for the ult on the top right. Bad Benny thinking about coming in for a delay. Not able to land the Stormbolt though, and decides not to push forward whatsoever. Sappers start to push in the top lane, but Method now has the opportunity, if they would like, to get aggressive on the bottom right side of the map and look towards those Sappers and bring Leo in if they would like. 20 seconds still for Illidan to get the hunt back, but of course with his cooldown reduction on his trait, he should be able to get that back in time.
Bit of a trap set up here in the middle. In the top lane, the aggression is still there. Method is definitely having some macro advantages in this game so far. Even against Illidan with the hunt. They're doing really well, putting the pressure onto the top lane bell tower right now. They have a good situation going for themselves when it comes to experience. The 13 gave them also a bit more survivability on a lot of these heroes. And with Zeratul, Illidan, and Diablo being very much on the same spot in most fights, the ominous Wraith that we're seeing from Leoric is going to get value whenever there's going to be a 5 versus 5 team fight.
Yeah.
Of course, Leoric has been splitting a lot. He's trying to get that side lane experience. Method is playing a good game here, but they also have to be cautious because there's a lot of aggression potential and the ability to force fights for Granit Gaming that they're now looking at again.
Method trying to make sure these sappers don't make it in. Ooh, arrow comes out and there's going to be a hunt straight onto one target. Bad Benny's going to be on focus. He tries to jump away with the tornado, pulls him back in, and Granit Gaming will clean him up.
Granit Gaming punishing Benny for not using Avatar here. Apo comes out, 7-sided strike. Everybody walking away for now. And Nick even popping his ult, pushing them back. Triple altar phase is going to be in play once we have Muradin back. But right now, Granit Gaming, they found the kill. Good coordination too. Just locking everybody in place and then getting even the Tornado in to make sure that Muradin didn't have a chance of getting out of this. And that's the downside of not having your Avatar. If you have your ult, your Avatar, the sustain, he would have lived there for sure. But it's always that trait.
Yeah.
Do you look to create a play? Do you look to make a move in the fights? Or are you just like that hit point heavy tank that disturbs everyone, tries to weave those storm bolts in and goes into either peeling for one of the heroes or into the backline?
Really came out of lower NATO, just pulling him back when he went for that dwarf toss. Gonna have one altar grabbed here for Method. So the shots on the core of Granite Gaming is 24, but for Method, they're down to 16. And they're getting to a point here where they're trying their best to make sure they do not lose out on a bell tower.
They still have the leading experience, though. If they can play around the 16-ton advantage and try and see if they can maybe even get a kill here, it would be great for them. I mean, they're still working. If you look at the bell towers, top and bottom bell towers of Granite Gaming have already lost HP. If at any point they can win that team fight close by, drop those two, all of a sudden they have a massive, massive lead in momentum and they have map control. But of course, it needs to get to that point for them to flip that switch. Granite Gaming, they definitely want to start a comeback in the series. They can't lose here. If they lose here, then all the dreams and hopes that they have for maybe still going to BlizzCon would be over.
The main issue is that Method just has never gotten to a point where they can actually push forward and break down those bell towers. All that damage that's happened has been due to the minions being able to push in, or even a couple of sapper caps have been taken away. But if you try to overextend with Tychus trying to take down a bell tower, you're usually going to be forced to use Odin, but suddenly you can be in a 5v4 if the orc is not nearby. That's what's really preventing them from fully committing to this idea of opening the map, and that's what's allowed Granite Gaming to find the edge in that bottom side of the map. And they're actually looking for another play as they bring all four down the bottom left and look for that bell tower.
Top side though, Leoric has once again taken the camp. Also, Method here with the heavy impact taken on the dwarf launch taken on level 16 for Mirrodin. Here's the engage already. Leoric is on his way. He's not here yet. 7-sided comes out. The Tornado's in play. A lot of cooldowns committed by Granite Gaming. They didn't get a kill. The Teth on ADRD. Here comes the Thero moving in, looking for that Entomb still. But Diablo with the APOC.
The APOC comes in. Nande falls in the front line, but he'll be back in 3 seconds. Leo gets picked off too. Raid Boss cleaving away Method as he's clearing up this front line. Another Tether comes out as ADRD tries to pull Darkmok straight into territory, but Darkmok, he'll take that opportunity. He goes in for an engage while Nick is low. Bad Benny attempting to retreat away. He actually jumps straight in and goes for the Stormbolt, but completely whiffs.
Yeah, that was basically the theme of the game so far. Mirrodin committing to a jump and then missing the Stormbolt. That happened now 5-6 times. Granite Gaming is just scaling into that late game like crazy. They have Zeratul and they also have with that Illidan, and especially these late game Illidans are of course just absolutely terrifying to go up against, especially if you do not have a lot of CC, and that's currently what we're seeing here. Granite Gaming is just running over Method.
And with them taking the bell tower on the bottom left, that makes Illidan even more terrifying. Zeratul too, both of them could peel off at any point. Zeratul probably the safer option, Illidan the better one if you're wanting to have your 4-man step up.
You look at the last fight, and the fact of the matter is that as it started, Granite Gaming committed a lot of cooldowns and didn't get anything out of it. And it was a 5 versus 4 they were trying to force. But then Leoric moves in, and they're dropping the last few heroics they still have, and all of a sudden it's just kill after kill that comes in, and there's this chase potential that you have with Illidan in particular, where it's very difficult to walk away from him. We're now at this point, 15 minutes in, still no completion on the Stormbolt talent for Mirrodin. That doesn't make things easier. Again, the 7-sided attempt, APOC coming out, here comes the hunt. Nande survives, at least for now. Nice tether from ADRD. The cage is also strong, but here comes the Void Prison.
Big VP from Raid Boss, but it's not enough. Bad Benny jumps in and brings up the damage. Bad Benny's low on health. Is he going to get picked off? No! Barely gets away as Method cleans up 2 in that fight. Now they can take the bell tower back and go for the altar.
It was actually funny how Darkmok, you could literally see him hesitate for half a second, but he was trying to turn around. It's like, one hit and he's dead.
Yeah.
One hit and he's dead. And he knew if he goes in and gets the kill, he dies. So it's like, okay, I have to get out of here.
You have to temper that bloodlust as an Illidan player. Everyone knows that feel if you played Illidan. Now with the boss in the play here for the top, Leo should come out here and scout this out. Remember, Mean Crept to the Hanzo arrow may be able to clear that up. Leo comes over, Bad Benny's also cycling in too, while the rest of Method clears out that bottom bell tower on the right.
They can't really afford to lose that boss, but I mean, can they stop it? I don't think so.
It's too late.
Yeah, Mirrodin comes in, hits the Stormbolt, completes the quest, but the boss is done, and that's 2 points on the core of a Method. Only 2 remaining with those 4 shots.
In theory, if you take the map, you don't have to worry about that boss anyways. You're down to 2 shots, but you're still in the game.
Yeah.
Take the map, your opponent's going to have a hard time taking it back, especially with multiple melees. Hanzo will be the one to work it in, but he isn't the quickest damage for getting a bell tower back. There goes the sappers from Method, and if they clear that tower on the top right, only 1 bell tower stands for Granite Gaming.
The one at the top right is definitely going to fall. I mean, Leoric is already pushing the last wave in, and he doesn't even have to stay there. The wave alone is going to complete that. And he's also taken the camp again. So now it's all about holding on to the map control. And granted, they have 20. They have their Storm talents. That's a massive lead. That's an entire level. So now all bell towers except for one are claimed by Method, and they are going to set up the camp through the top side, which is going to force someone to react to it. But 2 points against 19.
Yeah, Granit Gaming may put it all on the line here. With this next altar phase being 2 altars being up, they have tools to control that. They have VP. They have the ability to section off Method and get a pick. If they can just get one altar, they can earn the win here.
They're trying to rush the middle here, aren't they?
Yeah.
Trying to take the... No, they are going in for the defense at the bot lane. They're trying to stop that. Illidan is still top side. Has the global. Benny looking for Stormbolt. Doesn't find it. Bell Tower in the middle is taking damage too. Not too much yet. And Zeratul is rotating in. The 2 assassins definitely coming in handy here.
Very intense here for Granit Gaming. They can't afford to have any more mistakes, but neither can Method. And we're setting up for this big altar phase. Will Granit Gaming consider just giving up both these core shots and just going for map control back?
That would be 12 points off the core. That's then 7-2. Still in Granit Gaming's favor, but a lot closer. If they lose both of them, that would be an issue. But hey, they are so close on 20 as well. They have it. They could take the fight. It's all about the positioning right now, though. And Leoric is already at the bottom. One is going to be lost. There's no doubt about that. And to be honest, this team fight could literally decide the game.
The rest of Method has to pay attention here. Hunt comes out, goes straight for ADRD. He bolts it. Arrow!
The arrow comes in, they're going for him once more. ADRD gets out, and that's a lot of cooldowns being used by Granit Gaming already. Not the start they envisioned here. Darkmook is low, and Nick is firing away with a big red button. They're going in. Here comes the VP, but Diablo is in trouble, and a lot of it at that.
That's just damage control for Granit Gaming right now. Can they turn this around? APOC comes out. It'll be straight on top of ADRD. He actually will fall. Ethereal will be the next one, too, is being focused here. Batter and Assault as Darkbox is looking for a couple pickdowns. He gets one. Nande low on health, but he finally falls, too. It's a 2-for-1 trade so far.
Great Boss is trying to make it a triple. He's going for Kirsten, and he drops him. Kirsten goes down. Kharazim eliminated, and the channel is starting, and that should be game. Deckard Kane getting the last one. The 2 shots are flying over, and this is game as Granit Gaming takes map number 3 and starts a comeback.
Granit Gaming getting a win, but I'm going to be honest, I'm surprised they actually pull that off, especially with the Vault dodging out the hunt coming in. The immediate arrow afterwards saved by Kharazim. Kirsten coming in there and providing the heals. It felt like the worst had already been over for Method, but somehow ADRD goes a little bit too deep, and Granit clean him up.
It's not only that, there's so many things that happened there. Ethereal, for example, on his Leoric, they had Diablo. He was falling, and then Nanda finds the angle to push Leoric as he was draining him into the wall, and that extra damage killed Leoric. If Leoric survives that moment, if that is a normal push that doesn't end up with a wall bash, he survives through that and is then able to help them out in a 4 versus 4 fight. But with him falling in that trade, and then Diablo coming back, there were so many things in that last fight that were just absolutely crazy. The damage that came out from Zeratul as well, but he barely takes on Kharazim. So many little things. But Granit Gaming, they make it happen. So they win game number 3.